Before we begin today, quick note, all information in this video is based on publicly available sources and reports. And as always, if we get anything wrong or you have verified updates, kindly drop them in the comment section. We love learning from you. Alright, let's talk about one of the most talked about and controversial figures in Nigerian politics and society, Senator Ned Nwoko. Stay with me because today we are not just reading facts, we are having a true conversation about his background, his rise, his career, his marriages, and everything the public already knows about him. Let's go.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Senator Ned Nwoko. I represent the good people of Delta North, Delta State. Mr. President, just a very important point that I want to highlight upon, which is the fact that a judgment of the Supreme Court remains what it is until the Parliament enacts an act that deals directly with that particular judgment. Yes, I accept the fact that the Supreme Court has ruled on this particular subject matter, but it does not stop lawmakers from making a law.
Who is Senator Ned Nwoko? Prince Chinedu Munir Nwoko, popularly known as Ned Nwoko, is a Nigerian lawyer, philanthropist, businessman, and currently a sitting senator representing Delta North Senatorial District. Born on the 21st of December 1960, he is officially recognized as a member of the Nwoko royal family, a factor that has shaped not just his title, but the level of influence it commands in Delta State and across Nigeria. Now, one thing that always strikes people about Ned is how his identity blends tradition, religion, politics, law, and wealth. Many Nigerians know him today as a politician, as a wealthy businessman, and of course, as the husband of Nollywood actress Regina. But long before the media hype around his marriage, Ned was already well established as a lawyer with a career that spanned Nigeria and the UK. He's known publicly as someone who has invested heavily in education, sports tourism, malaria eradication projects, and youth development. You may remember his malaria eradication initiative that made headlines, where he planned research missions to Antarctica and spoke consistently about environmental and health reforms in Nigeria. And yes, he is a Muslim, something many people did not know at first, especially because a lot of his political and family appearances don't emphasize this, but it's a part of his identity and he has been open about his faith. So overall, when people ask, who exactly is Ned Nwoko? The public profile says a royal-born Nigerian Muslim lawyer turned politician, businessman, and a philanthropist who has played in both national and international arenas, a man with influence, controversy, and an undeniable presence in Nigeria's public space.
Well, I don't like talking about myself. You know, I love to be as simple as possible. Yeah. You might even start asking, how come you're wearing a wristwatch? I'm not wearing a wristwatch. I don't wear wristwatches. I don't wear chains. I don't even eat meat or chicken. I don't drink alcohol. I don't smoke. So what do I do? I would say, so where do you get your phone? My phone is in helping people.
Where is Ned Nwoko from? Let's take it all back to the roots, because understanding someone's background often explains a lot about who they become. Ned was born in Idumuje-Ugboko, a traditional kingdom in Aniocha North local government area of Delta State. He's a prince, not a nickname, not a ceremonial tag, but born into the Nwoko royal family. He grew up in Nigeria, where he received his early education before heading abroad to further his legal studies. Many reports highlight how he built his early career working as a lawyer in the United Kingdom, even running a firm there. That's part of why he's considered one of the few Nigerian politicians with a truly international professional background before entering Nigerian politics. Growing up in a royal environment likely exposed him to leadership early, and if you look at most of his public engagements today, from community development in his hometown to speaking on national issues, you can see how his upbringing shaped a mindset focused on influence, legacy, and structure.
Done so many impossible things.
Of course, yes. So
Even
this,
personally, you've done many impossible things.
tell me what it is. But
You marry 4 wives. That's almost like impossible. In all of this, how do you manage it? Because it's incredibly difficult to even being with a partner. Not talk of 1, 2, 3, and 4. You don't have any regret.
the example I gave is this, Just imagine telling you to stand on one leg. You know how difficult it is. But to stand on 2, 3, 4 is much more balanced. That's just the example I gave.
Wow.
Do you understand it? And so I feel sorry for those who have one wives, because it's difficult to stand on one leg.
And you don't have any regrets?
No.
If you have your way, you still
I
marry
will
more.
do the same thing again
And again.
Of course, yes.
And you have a knack of marrying beautiful women, young ones too.
This is the way it is. And that's the way it should be.
But you're not the ones that beat them.
You should marry who
Right?
you want to marry.
You're not the one that beats them.
No, come on. I am not a violent person. I respect my wives. I love them. And I love my kids. No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. So the impossibility brought us there. That's not
Yes.
the topic. The impossibility brought. There are those who say, legally speaking, procedurally, this is almost impossible.
No, it is not. What is impossible about it? I remember when I discussed it with the president, as I was saying before, he assured me before I left PDP to APC that he will support it as long as we at the National Assembly are able to do our work. And our work is almost done, because by the time we get to the third reading and then the referendum, the president will take it from there.
A referendum is an expensive task. And
It doesn't-
it's like an election.
It is a plebiscite.
Yeah, it's a plebiscite.
And it will be done.
It will be conducted in Delta,
And the 5 states
and
of
the 5 states
Southeast.
of the Southeast.
Of course, yes.
And you think that will happen?
Of course, it will happen. It's a process.
The National
And then
Assembly has to, the houses of Assembly have to concur.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, but those are the least of the problems. Because at the right time, Mr. President will call the government.
What does Ned Nwoko do for a living? This is where things get really interesting, because Ned's career has multiple layers to it. On the surface, many Nigerians today know him as a senator representing Delta North, but his career did not start in politics. Professionally, Ned is a trained lawyer. His background includes legal training overseas and a legal practice career that involved working in the UK. Some public records mention that he even worked with law firms and institutions abroad, a rare path for many Nigerian politicians. Back home, he has been involved in business, from real estate to agriculture and tourism. One of his well-known projects is the Mount Ned Nwoko Resort in his hometown, which includes sports facilities and hospitality structures. It's part of his broader campaign to transform Idumuje-Ugboko into a world-class destination. Additionally, Ned is heavily associated with philanthropy, scholarships, empowerment programs, malaria eradication initiatives. These are all projects tied to the Ned Nwoko Foundation. So when you ask, what does Ned Nwoko do for a living? The public knows him as a politician, an international trained lawyer, a businessman, and a philanthropist. His life combines politics, wealth, legacy building, and community projects. How many wives does Ned Nwoko have? Alright, let's address the part of his life that the media has not stopped talking about. Ned's marriages. According to multiple public reports, Ned Nwoko has 6 wives. Among them is popular Nollywood actress Regina Daniels, who became widely known as his youngest wife when they got married. Now, polygamy is something that exists culturally in many Nigerian communities, especially amongst certain religious and traditional families. So for Ned Nwoko, his multiple marriages are rooted in his personal, cultural, and religious beliefs. He has been open about not dating his wives before marriage, and he has spoken in interviews about his lifestyle and why he believes in polygamy. Again, that's according to the public information available online, and of course has contributed to public debate, love, controversy, admiration, criticism. Everything has been said about his family structure, but one thing is certain: Ned's family life has played a big role in his public identity. At what age did Ned marry Regina? When the news broke that billionaire Ned Nwoko, then about 59 years old, married Regina Daniels, who was 18 at the time, it shook social media. It became one of the biggest pop culture and lifestyle conversations in Nigeria. People debated age differences, love, responsibility, culture, choice, security, everything. Some criticized the marriage, others supported it, and many just watched quietly to see what would unfold. Regina has since grown into a respected media figure, entrepreneur, and political support personality for her husband. The marriage has lasted despite all the noise around it, and the couple now has children together. Again, everything here is based on publicly available information, and if anything needs updating, feel free to comment below. Is Ned Nwoko still married to Laila? This question came from months of speculation because there was public tension and reported separation between Ned and his Moroccan wife, Laila Charani. Social media saw posts, statements, misunderstandings, and at some point, people assumed the marriage was over. However, reports and public posts in late 2022 and even further in 2024 indicated that the couple reconciled after Laila issued a public apology to Ned and his family. That apology went viral and sparked discussions about forgiveness, marriage challenges, and family in public view. As of the latest information publicly available online, they appear to still be together. Does Ned have a private jet? The short answer, yes. According to public reports, Ned Nwoko has been associated with ownership of the Falcon 7X private jet valued at around $54 million. That's roughly over 20 billion naira in Nigerian currency. And yes, Regina Daniels has shared content in the past showing travel lifestyle consistent with luxury private jet ownership. Some news blogs once even described Regina as the first wife to acquire a private jet. But context matters because in most cases, the asset is tied to Ned's wealth and name. So yes, the public record suggests he flies private, another detail that puts him among Nigeria's wealthy elite and fuels the lifestyle conversations around his family. And that brings us to the end of today's Spotlight documentary style breakdown of Senator Ned Nwoko. We looked at his background, his career, his marriages, his wealth, and the parts of his life that continue to make him trend across media and public discussions in Nigeria. Remember, everything we discussed today is based on public domain information. If you have more recent verified Spotlight update, or if we missed something, please share respectfully in the comment section. Our conversation continues there. If you're enjoying this Spotlight features on influential personalities, do us a favor, like this video, subscribe to Update People TV, and turn on your notification bell so you don't miss our next deep feature. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode of Spotlight right here on Update People TV.